Let gratitude release the ego and embrace deep sleep in love. Beyond the science, there is something deeply sacred here. When you're grateful, you're not just calming your body, you're coming home to your soul. The ego says, "You are alone." Gratitude whispers, "You are part of everything." The ego says, "You must earn love." Gratitude reminds, "Love is already here." The ego says, "Rest is lazy." Gratitude says, "Rest is holy." And maybe this is what Zen has been teaching all along. That the greatest spiritual act is not climbing higher, but sinking deeper into this moment, into connection, into presence, not escaping the self, but gently dissolving its boundaries, until what's left is openness and peace. Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh taught, "We are here to awaken from the illusion of our separateness. That illusion, that we must stand apart, that we must carry everything on our own, is the root of much of our suffering." And it is the ego's favorite story. But gratitude dissolves that story like mist in the morning sun. When you allow yourself to feel thankful, you soften the sharp edges of the self. You no longer need to defend your identity. You no longer need to hold tightly to being right, or enough, or strong. You just are, and in that state of being, there is space, space to breathe, space to let go, space to sleep. In tonight's journey, before we begin, a gentle note: this isn't just a video, it's a space. A quiet space where you are allowed to pause, to breathe, to let go. There will be moments of silence woven into this journey, no voice, no words, only soft music and your breath. These are not empty spaces. They are part of the meditation, moments for your mind to rest, for your heart to soften. Let them hold you, not rush you. And as we near the end, you'll notice the sound gently fading, easing you into deep sleep. Without effort, if you are still here, fully present until the last breath of this journey, you'll receive a small gift, a simple bedtime practice. Not just to help you sleep, but to slowly, gently, transform how you live. Let us begin now, together. In gentle, may your night be filled not with silence, but with the peace that comes from deep gratitude. Let go, rest deeply, sleep in love. 1. The hidden weight of ego at night. It's a quiet night. The lights are off. The phone is on silent. The world outside has gone to sleep. But inside, your mind won't stop spinning. Thoughts tumble in, unfinished conversations, worries about tomorrow, things you wish you'd said, and the more you try to fall asleep, the more awake you feel. This is where many people in modern life quietly suffer, not from the noise outside, but from the ego within. In Zen, we often speak of the ego not as arrogance, but as the voice that says, "I am not safe unless I'm in control." It's the part of us that clings to identities, roles, expectations, past hurts, even unspoken fears about not being enough. And at night, when there's nothing to distract us, the ego has the perfect stage. It replays the day like a loop. It judges. It remembers what went wrong. It fears what's coming next. Zen master Shunryu Suzuki once said, "In the beginner's mind there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind there are few." The ego insists it knows how things should be, but the Zen mind allows for uncertainty, softness, stillness. It allows the moment to be enough, even when it's not perfect. Even when you can't sleep, So many of us in the US today live with constant mental tension. We strive, we compare, we measure our worth against likes, titles, achievements. But this kind of internal pressure doesn't turn off at bedtime. Instead, it follows us under the sheets, disguised as overthinking, tension in the chest, and shallow breathing that keeps us from the deep rest we so desperately need. It blocks the deep sleep we long for. Zen teaches that true rest doesn't come from fixing the mind, but from releasing the need to fix it. This is not easy, especially in a culture that prizes productivity and control. But that's why nighttime is sacred. It's the one space where you don't have to be anything, not a parent, a partner, a professional. You don't have to figure things out. You only have to be here, breathing, held. In this gentle space, there is no ego to protect. Just you, the real you, quiet and unguarded, wrapped in a blanket, waiting for peace to return. This is the beginning of Zen. Not a concept, not a belief, but a direct experience of what happens when we stop trying. Psychologist Carl Jung once observed, "Thoroughly unprepared, we take the step into the afternoon of life. We take this step with the false assumptions that our truths and ideals will serve us as before. But night asks us to surrender those old truths. Night asks us to loosen our grip. Night asks us to let go. And what if, just for tonight, you didn't have to prove anything? Not even to yourself? What if you whispered to that inner voice, 'Thank you for protecting me, but I choose rest now'?" When we gently step back from the ego, even for a few moments, we create space for deep sleep to enter, and with it, healing, stillness, maybe even love, not the kind you chase, but the kind you remember. So as you lie down tonight, feel the softness of your pillow. Notice your breath, moving slowly like waves on a quiet shore. Let your thoughts drift by, like clouds that no longer need to be named. There is nothing you need to fix, nothing to figure out, just this moment, just you, finally free, and in that freedom, deep sleep begins. 2. Gratitude as the gentle key to letting go. There's something quietly powerful about the moment you whisper, "Thank you," to no one in particular. Not because everything is perfect, but because, somehow, your heart knows, this moment is enough. When we talk about gratitude in the Zen tradition, we don't mean it as an obligation. It's not a performance. It's not a checklist. It's a presence, a soft returning to what is real, here and now. Many in modern life are taught that we must fix or achieve something before we can be grateful. Lose the weight, pay off the debt, heal the relationship. Then, maybe, we'll feel peace. But Zen flips that story. Gratitude, in its truest form, is not the result of having what we want. It's the recognition that what we already have, even the breath we're breathing, is a gift too easily overlooked. Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh wrote, "Walk as if you were kissing the earth with your feet." That kind of awareness can only come from a grateful mind, one that is not racing toward tomorrow, one that is not fighting the past, but simply here, noticing the cool sheets, the rhythm of breath, the quiet hush of night. So how does this help us let go of ego? The ego thrives in a place of lack. It says, "I need more, I need to be more." It compares, it grasps, it holds onto stories that keep us trapped in anxiety and fear. But gratitude is not interested in comparison. Gratitude softens the grip. Gratitude says, "Even this is enough." And when we say thank you, not because we're supposed to, but because we feel it. We disarm the ego. We stop the chase, and in that stillness, deep sleep becomes possible. A simple practice you can try tonight, before you close your eyes. Name 3 things you're quietly grateful for. Don't choose anything grand. Choose what's real. The warmth of your blanket. The sound of rain outside. The fact that you made it through another day. That's it. Let each thank you be a gentle exhale. Not to impress the universe, but to join it. Gratitude, in the Zen way, is not about celebration. It's about connection. A quiet bow to the life that is happening. Even now, even in your tiredness. Research in sleep psychology supports what Zen has taught for centuries, that ending the day with gratitude calms the nervous system, reduces nighttime anxiety, and helps the mind return to stillness. But this isn't just science. It's spirit. It's soul. You see, gratitude doesn't require circumstances to change. It changes you. It humbles the ego. It opens the heart. And it prepares the body to rest in safety, not defense. There is a moment, perhaps you've felt it, when you whisper a soft, "Thank you," into the dark. And for the first time all day, your chest loosens, the spinning slows, the body sinks. The ego doesn't know what to do with peace, so it disappears. And you are left with something deeper, something quieter, something true. This is not about becoming a grateful person. It's not about pretending everything is okay. It's about finding the doorway back to yourself, through softness, through surrender, through presence. So tonight, don't try so hard to sleep. Just let gratitude find you. Let it hold you the way a parent holds a tired child. Let it remind you, you are not alone in this night. The stars are shining for you. The earth is holding you. Your breath is steady. Your heart is still beating. And in that knowing, you can rest. You can begin to sleep. You can begin to heal. Three, how gratitude dissolves the walls of the self. There's a quiet truth in the way gratitude works. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand. It doesn't try to fix you. It simply softens the walls you've built around your heart, one breath at a time. You see, the ego is not always loud. Sometimes, it hides in subtle places, in the fear of being misunderstood, in the urge to explain yourself, in the constant tension that you must do more, be more, prove your worth, and in the stillness of night, when the world goes silent, that ego can feel like a cage, a small room where your mind keeps pacing, unable to rest, unable to feel safe. But something beautiful happens when you begin to feel grateful, not for the big achievements, but for the simplest things. A glass of water, the warmth of your dog curled up beside you, the way the breeze moved through the trees earlier today. Gratitude reminds you, You are not alone. You are not separate from this world. You belong. Zen Master Thich Nhat Hanh taught, "We are here to awaken from the illusion of our separateness. That illusion, that we must stand apart, that we must carry everything on our own, is the root of much of our suffering. And it is the ego's favorite story. But gratitude dissolves that story like mist in the morning sun. When you allow yourself to feel thankful, you soften the sharp edges of the self. You no longer need to defend your identity. You no longer need to hold tightly to being right, or enough, or strong. You just are, and in that state of being, there is space. Space to breathe, space to let go, space to sleep. Modern neuroscience confirms this. Gratitude activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural way of saying, "You are safe now." It slows the heart rate, eases tension, tells the mind, "You can rest. You don't need to keep fighting." And in that gentle message, deep sleep can finally arrive. But beyond the science, there is something deeply sacred here. When you're grateful, you're not just calming your body, you're coming home to your soul. The ego says, "You are alone." Gratitude whispers, "You are part of everything." The ego says, "You must earn love." Gratitude reminds, "Love is already here." The ego says, "Rest is lazy." Gratitude says, "Rest is holy." And maybe this is what Zen has been teaching all along. That the greatest spiritual act is not climbing higher, but sinking deeper into this moment, into connection, into presence, not escaping the self, but gently dissolving its boundaries, until what's left is openness and peace. So tonight, if you find yourself caught in restless thought, come back. Not by force, not by guilt, but with one quiet question. What is still good? Right now? Maybe it's your breath. Maybe it's the silence. Maybe it's just the fact that you're here, listening, alive. Let gratitude hold your hand. Let it loosen the stories. Let it remind you that you are part of something vast and loving and deeply intelligent, something that doesn't need you to be perfect, only present. And in that presence, you will find yourself slowly falling, not just into sleep, but into the arms of something deeper. The peace that was always waiting beneath the ego. The peace that is your birthright. The peace that is Zen. 4. Embracing deep sleep is a return to love. There's a moment, right before sleep, when the world feels softer. The room grows quieter. The breath slows. The edges of thought begin to blur, like watercolor fading into stillness. And in that gentle space, something ancient begins to stir. Not fear, not striving, but love. Not the romantic kind, not the kind that demands or breaks or burns, but a quieter love, the kind that simply is. The kind you don't have to earn. The kind that waits for you every night beneath the noise, beneath the ego, beneath the roles you play all day long. Zen doesn't speak about love the way most traditions do. It doesn't give you rules for finding it. It doesn't ask you to define it. Instead, Zen invites you to feel it directly, as the natural state of being that arises when all clinging falls away. Zen Master Dogen once wrote, "When you walk in the mist, you get wet without even knowing it." This is how love works in the Zen mind, not as something you chase, but as something you unknowingly return to when you stop running. And what is deep sleep, if not the most sacred returning? During the day, we build walls, we perform, we protect, we say things we don't mean. We hide the tenderness within us because the world can feel too sharp. But night is different. Night asks nothing. It only invites. And in that invitation, you're free to feel what you've hidden. Free to rest not because you've finished everything, but because you are held anyway. That's what deep sleep in love feels like. It's not about who's lying next to you. It's about how you're lying next to yourself, whether you're resisting or receiving, guarding or allowing. The practice of gratitude softens the body into this love. When you thank the day, even the hard parts, you're saying, I trust life enough to let go tonight. You're saying, I no longer need to carry the sword of self-protection while I rest. This shift from effort to ease, from control to surrender, is the path of Zen. It is also the path to sleep. Because sleep, like love, cannot be forced. It comes when you stop holding on. Modern life teaches us to chase love, to seek validation, to prove we matter. But Zen reminds us, love is not something found, it is something remembered. And gratitude is how we remember. When you lie down tonight, don't just go to sleep. Return to your breath. Return to the body that's carried you all day. Return to the quiet sense that you are enough, not because of what you did, but because of who you are. Beneath all of it, feel the warmth of your blanket, not just as fabric, but as comfort. Feel the silence around you, not as emptiness, but as presence. Let each exhale be a soft act of love for this moment, for yourself, for the quiet rhythm of life that beats behind everything. You don't need to have the answers tonight. You don't need to know what's coming next. You only need to allow. Let yourself be loved by this stillness. Let yourself be undone, gently. Let sleep wash over you not as escape, but as embrace. And in that deep, quiet falling, you are not disappearing. You are arriving, coming home, to peace, to presence, to the love that was always here. This is what it means to sleep in Zen. This is what it means to sleep in love. 5. A gentle practice to end the day with gratitude and love. Tonight, as you prepare to rest, there is no need to fix anything. No need to solve what's unsolved. This day, just as it was, is now behind you, and the night, this gentle, forgiving night, is here to hold you. In the Zen tradition, the most powerful practices are often the simplest, not because they lack depth, but because they reach directly into the heart. No steps to master, no perfection to chase, just quiet awareness and a willingness to feel. So here is a gentle practice, a small ritual you can return to each evening before sleep. A way to end your day not with pressure, but with peace, not with ego, but with gratitude and love. Lie down, allow your body to soften. Wherever it touches the surface beneath you, let the shoulders drop, let the face relax. Place one hand on your heart, the other on your belly, and take a slow breath in and out. Feel that you are alive, that you are here, that this moment needs nothing else. Now, quietly say to yourself, thank you. No need to explain what for. Just feel the energy of that word move through your body like warm light. Maybe it brings a memory. Maybe it brings a tear. Maybe it brings nothing at all, just stillness. That's okay. The gratitude is working. If your mind wanders, bring it back with a question. What was one small, beautiful thing that happened today? Not something big. Maybe the way sunlight came through the window, the sound of a laugh, a sip of warm tea. Let that memory wrap around you. Let it be enough. Then, On your next exhale, whisper, I release. Let go of the day, its demands, its noise, its stories. Let go of the roles you played. Let go of who you thought you had to be. Feel yourself sinking, not in defeat, but in peace. And as you drift closer to sleep, say one last phrase. I am loved, not because someone told you so, but because you are, because you were born worthy, because you are part of this breathing, pulsing, sacred universe, and tonight, it is singing you to sleep. This is what it means to bring Zen into your real life, not by escaping, but by remembering, not by becoming someone else, but by finally coming home to yourself. If you are still here, at the end of this video, here is your reward. A practice so simple, yet so powerful, that it can gently transform your life, one night, one breath, one quiet act of gratitude at a time. Regular practice will help you bring calm into chaos, love into stress, and peace into the everyday moments that make up your world. If you want to listen longer, to let this calm feeling stretch across your entire night, we invite you to explore the playlist, Zen for Deep Sleep. There, you'll find beautifully sequenced videos, designed to flow one into the next, without interruption, helping you rest for 1 hour, 2 hours, even 3 hours or more. No breaks, no jolts, just a continuous stream of peace. But if a shorter journey is all you need tonight, that's okay too. There are many videos, just like this one, around 30 minutes, soft, soothing, and perfect for winding down. Whatever you're looking for, you'll find it here at Buddhism in You. And as you continue your path of healing, we'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, your feelings, your reflections in the comments below. Your words not only uplift others, they help this small sanctuary grow and reach those who need it most. We're deeply grateful for your presence here. May you rest in ease. May you wake in peace. See you tomorrow night, here.